What's up, gamers? Today we're making another guide for you today, and we're going to be looking at Sobek. Sobek is the god of the Nile. He's magical with inscaling, but he's a tank, so we actually want to build this guy to be your front line of the team. Let's talk about his passive, Blessing of the Nile. When Sobek deals damage, you can stack protections. This effect stacks 3 times, but it lasts for 10 seconds. And ability can only provide 1 stack per cast, so even if you multi-hit, you can only get 1 stack per ability. Charge prey, you dash forward, melee. This melee that you hit on an enemy, because it is a physical, like actual hit on the guy, there's no like magical, doesn't pass through. But the first enemy hit takes magical damage and stops the dash. You displace the enemy by throwing them behind you. They're stunned and thrown. So the initial hit's a stun, then it throws them back. So if you're like GNGing away, if you get hit by this, you can hit your 3 and fly back to where you used to be, so that you're not displace, but when you were initially hit, you are stunned. You're displacement immune while dashing and CC immune while throwing. So if you do this ability, now let's say the Cernunos times it perfectly, you can get hit by the Bramble, which is a cripple, and that will stop your dash. When you throw, though, you're CC immune. So once you connect, and there's no, you don't get hit by a displacement or anything, or hard CC, you're fine. Tail whip, spin your tail, deal magic damage in an area around you, and enemies are also displaced by this. This is a good way to CC out for your team, give a little bit of appeal, knock people in their direction, and if there's multiple people, you'll knock them in different directions. So it's a good way to knock people off. Sickening strike, deals magical damage in a cone, applies disease. It's built in anti-heal, 40%, gives god and dot damage as well. And it also heals Sobek. So it's overall a really good ability. Each enemy hit by the cone reduces the ability by 1 second and heals you. So you can afford to use this quite often, especially if they're in a big group, and this will allow you to hit it multiple times in a team fight. Lurking in the waters. Enemies in this circle are submerged and they're slowed. You're CC immune in this as well. You gain protections and mana regen. After 4 seconds, you emerge and do magical damage. You can cancel it early. It'll do less damage though if you do so. Executes enemies below 10 to 25% HP, scaling with time submerged. So if you want to kill someone at 25%, you have to be submerged the entire time. If people are at a lower execute threshold, also you can cancel early and you'll execute them if they're within the threshold. Alright, let's just get this guy into practice. Alright, so I'm going to build him full tank. I'm not going to do this build exactly, but I will do some common items. I typically get Sundering if I'm the support for the team. So first let's do all the little setups here. Let's get old Amir, level 20. Give him in the inventory. And then we'll start with just 1 Amir for now. Typically when I play Sobek, which isn't a whole lot, but my buddy who's a support main does typically, he'll get Selflessness. And then a couple other items here. Let's grab Thieves. Because we already have anti-heal, we don't really need Ruinous Honk. We can get some other items to slot in. We'll get Prophetic Cloak for the cooldown and the prots. We'll also get Stone of Binding. We do have a lot of CC, so any hard CC effects are going to debuff the enemy from their physical prots and magical prots, so this is always good to have. We're also going to bring out a couple utility items. Where is it? Come on. Am I just blind? Probably. And there it is. We're going to get Talisman of Purification to cleanse our teammates and ourselves of CC, which, since we have Sunder, we don't have beads ourselves. You could go double beads, it's kind of cringe. It could be more helpful to your team. Probably not. Let's grab, this is kind of where there's items you can go versus what you should go. It depends, on the situation. You can get Ammonia Charm to heal your allies. You can get Glorious Pridwin to use as an extra explosion, so if you don't kill somebody with your execute, You can deal that extra damage with this Prid Windshield. You can also get Phoenix Feather. This is a huge heal if you're missing HP. It's a big cooldown though, so it's very situational, but very helpful to yourself. So I'm going to grab that for this. And then also Genji's Guard. When you take magical damage, all your abilities are reduced by, all your cooldowns are reduced by 3 seconds. Along with Sickening Strike, you can get your cooldowns back really fast for that ability. And continue on the fight. You can also get Oni Hunter's Guard. For each enemy guy within 8.8 meters of you, you gain 4% damage mitigation. It's capped, so you get 12% max stacks. You can get quite tanky just for, you can get whatever. And just for practice, I am going to get Genji's Guard. Okay, let's go over the abilities. So, one is the Charge Prey. This is the damage the enemy as well as stunning them. Displacement immune and CC immune when you're throwing. So to see what this looks like, I'm going to go and dash. And we chucked the mirror over there. So, gotta move him. Move him back in a second. Let's just put those cooldowns on. Okay, next one is going to be Tail Whip. So to show this one, I'm actually going to pull him back first. Alright, and then we're going to go and add some more gods on here. So you can see what will happen now. So this Tail Whip, damage, and you also displace. So when there's multiple gods here, you'll see they all go out in different directions relative to where you are as Sobek. Now there is quite of a range to it, and you can also move them around. Boom. It's a good way to, you know, CC out for your teammates, give them some nice peel, and displace a bit so that way you can focus on one enemy or the other. Alright, so then you got Sickening Strike. This will deal damage and apply anti-heal. Enemies that are diseased take bonus magical damage as well, and reduced healing. And each enemy hit will reduce the count's ability. So let's take reduce cooldowns off so you can see this. 12 seconds is currently what it's at, so when we do our ability, you can see it's down to 5. Pretty nice. Alright, so this is going to be the part where we'll see our ultimate. Let's put this back on so we can see it multiple times. As you can see, Sobek is CC immune, the enemies around him are slowed. And now, that little circle, it was kind of hard to see from that angle, but on the outside there's a circular cone showing the timer for the 4 seconds until it's ready to execute. So we'll do it again. As you can see on the outside it's filling up and coming around. And boom. That shows when the execute's finally ready going to happen. Now you can cancel it early. So let's move a little mirror over there. Let's hit some more damage on these guys. I didn't mean to kill him, but we'll just keep spamming this on cooldown. Alright, now we can do our old execute. Alright, I'm trash at demonstrating, guys. I am so sorry for that, but this should get them down to the range I'm looking for the execute. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's growing. Now we see the icons for the execute. So that was at the full 25%. And we got them all. So as you can see, with the reduced cooldowns, if there's multiple enemies, this will actually get 5. I'm going to take the reduced cooldowns off. So if I hit all 3, you can get it down to 4 seconds for your Sickening Strike. Pretty sweet. As you saw with the reduced cooldowns, it was instant. But yeah, that's how you play Sobek. We'll do a couple little tech things just to show you. If you use your 1 and there's minions in the way, you will hit a minion. So if you're trying to aim for a god, definitely get around them. Sickening Strike also works on the minions. And we'll wait till they come back around. And then we'll also do the tail whip on these. The icons are not going to show for before you execute on lurking in the water, so just be aware of that. But our little tail whip right there knocks even the minions around. So yeah, that's how you play Sobek. Once again, thanks for watching and enjoy the Smite 2.